This is Umar Ahmed for IFL TV, proudly sponsored by Everlast. We're at the aftermath of Oleksandr's victory over Anthony Joshua, becoming a new heavyweight world champion. I'm joined by Jeff Powell. Just give me your immediate reaction to tonight, please, Jeff.
I have to have Daily Mail.
Oh, Jeff Powell, the Daily Mail. How could I forget? How could I forget the introduction?
We watched a genius completely outbox a man who we're all fond of, but was exposed for a number of liabilities, speed, ability to change gear when he was in trouble. I felt all along that he might win the fight, and I thought he would do it by trying to mug him, doing what Fury did to Wilder. But he never ever got himself into that sort of mode, and to get engaged in a complex boxing match with one of the most technical fighters the world's ever seen, an absolutely brilliant boxer, was suicidal in a way. But he was bamboozled, bewildered, and didn't seem able to do anything about changing the tempo of the fight to his kind of street mugging, which is what he required.
What liabilities were exposed?
His speed and the ability to change direction when the fight wasn't going well. He couldn't. McCracken had said you've got to judge the distance. Well, all the distance judging was done by Usyk, and once the first 3 or 4 rounds had gone by and it was clear he was going to be outboxed if it went that way, he should have tried to turn it into an ugly street ball. It was his best chance, and with his weight and size and power, he might have got away with it. As it was, he was virtually the one who was almost knocked out in the last round. And he's got to really consider that the tactics that he employed were wrong, and that he lacked the capacity to change that tempo.
Eddie Hearn's just gone on record on Sky and said that he knows AJ is a man. He will take that Usyk rematch immediately. If you were advising Anthony, would you give him the same advice?
Well, I can understand all the commercial implications of that. If he's not going to regain his world titles, then he might as well make money for another world title fight with Usyk. But in terms of his prospects of winning it, I wouldn't take it. This is going to have a psychological effect on him. He's a terrific guy, but I believe he'd be psychologically damaged by this. And I would like him to see at least 1 or 2 fights to regain confidence. He would not go into a rematch confident. He was able to deal with Andy Ruiz, who was not a good as boxer as Usyk, who had got fat, and he was able to adapt his style in advance and take advantage of the terrible condition that Ruiz was in. That's not going to happen with Usyk. He's going to come even more convinced that he can win this. He was caught a few times by the right hand, didn't put a dent in him. Where does a win for AJ come after this? He needs to rebuild, come back and fight again. His other alternative, of course, is to say, well, if Tyson Fury is still a big viable fight and he beats Wilder, well, why not go to that and challenge Fury for the WBC title?
So you don't think that fight is dead with Fury?
I don't think it's dead. It's going to have to be cleverly resurrected.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. So just lastly, how do you see the top 2 heavyweights in the world? Do you have Fury and Usyk as number 1 and 2?
Yes, probably Fury still, because there's extra size and a lot more skill and athleticism for him to deal with Fury. He won't be rendered virtually stationary by Usyk. He'll be using his own strength and athleticism in a fight like that.
Jeff Powell from the Daily Mail. Appreciate your time.
Okay,
I've just heard Usyk is walking in.
So.